Welcome back. This is Sean again, and on this next section on our Google Drive class, we're learning about how to create a Google presentation. Much like the previous section on creating a Google Doc, Google Presentations is very similar to what you would find in PowerPoint with Microsoft Office. Now, don't forget, anytime you are using Google Chrome or anytime you're signed into your Google account, just go to the top right of the screen and click on the apps icon, which is the series of dots up there that you see, and choose Drive to go to your Google Drive. And I'm going to be using the demo folder here that I have. So to start with, we're going to click, as we did in the previous section, we're going to click on Create, and we want to choose a Google presentation, which is signified by the yellow page that you see here. Now once we open this up, very first time that we open up Google Presentation, it's going to ask us to choose a theme. Now as you can see here, they have several different themes to choose from, and one of the things that you'll notice at the bottom right is the slide size. Now typically, before the advent of HD size monitors with the widescreen format, there was the pretty standard format slide size of a 4:3 ratio. If you still have that type of monitor, or if you need to keep it within that aspect ratio, you can change it. But by default with Google Drive, all presentations automatically default to a 16:9 widescreen format. If you need to change that, you can do so. Also, at the bottom left, you'll see that there is a Show for New Presentations box. If you leave that checked, then each time you go into Google Presentations, you'll have the option of choosing your theme right off the bat. If you uncheck that, then you can go back to the top and choose a theme from the menus on the toolbar. Right now I'm going to choose a real quick theme. I'm just going to choose this Biz theme and then click OK. And it takes us back to Google Presentations and it shows me my first slide. Now with this slide, very much like PowerPoint, they have layouts set up, pre-formatted. If you look up here at the toolbar, you'll see there's a layout menu. You can, on the current slide that you're working with, you can change the layout if you choose to do so. Like I could do a title with 2 columns and it would change that. These are pre-formatted with the text box, the proper font size, the proper font color to go with the theme, and everything's ready for you to go. You just click inside the box to add text or titles, as you can see. I'm going to go back to a title slide, and I can click in here. I'm going to use as an example my PowerPoint slideshow that I show parents during Meet the Teacher night. I'm going to use that same slideshow, so I'm just going to call it Meet the Teacher. I'm going to put my name down here at the bottom, and as I move through the presentation, I can add a slide simply by going up to the top here. If you look at the top, we've got our toolbars over here, and I'm going to choose from the menu, I'm going to choose Slide, and I'll click New Slide. So from New Slide, it automatically, since you've already got a title slide, then it's going to automatically, as your second slide, give you a layout with a title and a text box. So now from here, you'll notice over here on the left side, there is a pane that shows your slide sorter. Now if I want to, as I edit my slideshow, I could rearrange these slides just by clicking and dragging them. Move slide 1 here, and now I've put my title slide as the second slide in. So you can do that just like you can in PowerPoint. I can also go back up here, and if I just really am not happy with this theme, even though I've already pre-selected it, I can change it to something else. So let's try that. We'll go to a Spotlight theme and then click OK. And it's just going to take what I've already edited on my title slide, and it will apply those same text boxes to the new theme and then in the new format. Now, not to insult anyone's intelligence along the way, I know that many people know how to create a PowerPoint, and what's wonderful about Google Presentation is that it is very similar to an older style of PowerPoint. But just going to point out a couple of other features, and then we're going to talk about some of the things that you can do with Google Presentation that you cannot do very well or very easily with PowerPoint. I'm going to go to the bottom first of all, though, and point out, much like what you're used to, you can add notes to the bottom. So for instance, if you needed to add speaker notes to a slide, you can just go to the bottom and click in the text box and type any notes that you might want to use. The interesting thing about this is that you can present your slideshow with the notes showing up on the page as well, so that you can see it, but the audience cannot necessarily see it if it's being presented via a computer and a projector. So to give you an idea of how that works, when I'm ready to present my slideshow, let me give this second slide a little text. So I'm just going to call this topic 1, and I'll say syllabus. We're going to talk about the syllabus on Meet the Teacher Night, for instance. That way we can have some content when I present this. When you're ready to present, just go to the top right and click on the present button. But if you want to present from the beginning, like if you're on a slide in the middle of the presentation, you can click present from beginning and it'll automatically jump to the first slide. If you click present with speaker notes, it will show the presentation on the screen, and as you can see here, we have the speaker notes showing up in a little pop-up screen that I can see while everyone else is looking at the slide on the page. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of this. I'm going to close my speaker notes and click exit full screen, and we're back at the presentation, the editor screen for the presentation. So it's pretty simple to set up a slideshow, very simple to add slides, to choose your layout if you want to change the layout. A couple of other things just to point out really quick. If you don't want to go to the slide menu, you can choose to just click new slide here, or you can choose the layout of the new slide that you want to choose from the toolbar instead of using the menus. Don't forget, anytime you make a mistake, you can do undo or redo. And as you go across, you have a zoom tool, you have your select tool, you also have a text box tool, which allows you to just click and drag and draw a text box and add it anywhere on the page that you want to. You also have image tool that allows you to insert an image on the page. Shapes tool so that you can add callouts and arrows and different things to the slideshow. So, you know, a lot of people like to use PowerPoint to create sort of a choose your own adventure style presentation with buttons where you can choose to jump from one slide to another. So you could use the arrows or the shapes or some of the callouts to create hyperlinks so that you can jump back and forth between slides. And then you also have your line tools, and then you also have your change background, layout, theme, as we've gone through earlier. Now, additionally, a lot of people like to use transitions and animations in slideshows. So before I show you the transitions section, we're going to actually show how to upload a presentation, because you may already have a PowerPoint in your files that you would just like to upload and create inside Google Presentations so that you can have it in the cloud, which is one of the great things about Google Drive. That's one of the main reasons that people love Google Drive, is so that they don't have to carry around a lot of flash drives anymore. They can just put all their presentations, docs, and spreadsheets in the cloud. So let's start with a fresh one. I'm going to go ahead and just delete these slides here. Just right click and delete, and we'll start fresh. And I'm going to go to the file menu, and I'm going to choose import slides. Now from here you can either import from another existing Google presentation, or you can choose to upload. I'm going to upload a file from my computer, so I click select a file, and I'm going to choose, actually I'm going to use my real Meet the Teacher Night presentation. Choose that presentation and click open. And it takes just a few minutes to upload the slides. Once it's finished, you'll see all the slides in your presentation pop up, and you can choose. You don't have to upload all of the slides in your presentation. You can choose to upload certain slides, not every one of them. But in this case, I'm going to go ahead and choose all of them. I do have the option of clicking to select, but I'm going to choose all. And down at the bottom, you can either keep the original theme, or you can choose a new theme. I'm going to choose a new theme, so I'm going to uncheck that box and then click Import Slides. It takes a few minutes for this to load, but once it's loaded, see, now it's actually applying the theme that I had originally chosen for this video. Originally I said that we were going to talk about transitions. So if I click on the first slide and choose transition, an animations box opens up on the right side that allows me to choose what type of transition that we'll see from one slide to the next. So I'm going to choose slide from right, and maybe I'm not sure what that's going to look like, so I can hit play and it shows me what that's going to look like as it comes in. Now if that's too fast, I can always change the speed at which it goes, and I can make it a little bit slower so that it has a bigger effect whenever it comes on the page. So if I click through each slide, I can add a transition to each slide and just try those out. There's the flip. It's a little bit fast, so let's slow that one down. We'll hit stop and change the speed, and then hit play and see what that looks like again. That's not bad. That's a pretty impressive little animation, I think. So now you can kind of see what it does each time you add a transition from one slide to the next. When you finish your presentation, you can share those. If I click the share button, it allows me to name it. I haven't named this one yet, so I'll call it Meet the Teacher. And then I'll save it. And then it brings up a menu where I can choose to copy the link and email it to someone, or I could put it on Facebook. Now that's a nice thing. Say for instance you want to put a presentation on your social media page for your parents in your classroom or for your school site. Then you can copy that link and then share that link on Facebook or Twitter so that it's automatically posted and your parents could view it. Then you don't have to worry about disseminating some information. But I could also go down to the bottom and email this presentation to people if I wanted to. Right now I'm not going to choose to share it with anyone, so I'm going to hit done. Additionally, I can also go up to the File menu, and if I wanted to keep this on my hard drive as well, say for instance, yes, I like it being in the cloud, and yes, it is available anytime I want to get to it, but I would also like to have a PowerPoint version on my computer so that I could just pull it up. Maybe the internet goes down on site and I still need access to that. Then I could download this as a PowerPoint file just by clicking File, Download As, and choosing Microsoft PowerPoint. You can also save it as a PDF document if you need to share it with people. Clicking PDF document, it automatically downloads it, and if we open up that file and view it, you can see that it's just a one slide per page PDF document. Now another nice feature on Google Presentation is that you can publish your presentation to the web. If you go to the File menu and choose Publish to the Web, it'll actually pop up with a menu the first time you do this that says, are you sure you want to do this? But publishing a doc, what it means is it can create, or Google can create a link, not the same as a share link that you would have on the share button at the top right, but a separate link that when sent to people, it actually opens up the presentation in a slideshow. Or you can copy an embed code and put it on a page like on your Sandike Classroom page if you wanted to share it with your students. And it's also available as a link on Google Plus if you're a Google Plus user, or you can publish it to social media through Facebook or Twitter. At the bottom you have some options such as starting the slideshow as soon as the player loads, and then you can have it repeat by clicking Restart Slideshow after the last slide. But make sure that you choose all of your options and set them up exactly the way you want them. You might want to change the presentation size so that it's not quite so large, or maybe it's a little bit bigger. And then once you've garnered all that information, then you come up here and either copy your document link or your embed code. If you want to know more about embed codes, by the way, there'll be a video later on about using embed codes from places like YouTube or from the G Drive as well. I'm going to copy the document link though, and then I'm going to click Close. Now, to show you what this looks like, I'm going to open a new tab and paste that publishing link into my browser, hit enter, and it just automatically launches. And if you're familiar at all with web tools like SlideShare, this is similar to SlideShare. SlideShare lets you upload slideshow presentations and publish them out on the web. In this case, this link right here automatically opens up my slideshow as soon as the user puts it in their browser, because I told it to do so. But you could also have this as a web element on a web page if you wanted to, so that it doesn't take up the full screen. So it's just a very nice feature that's been added to Google Presentation. Well, that kind of wraps up Google Presentation. Like I said earlier, I don't want to insult anyone's intelligence. However, if you do have questions as you're going through this Google Drive course and you're not exactly sure about how to do something, just feel free to email me at sean.beard@sandites.org at any time, and I can walk you through any questions that you might have. Otherwise, we'll see you for the next part of Google Drive.